Welcome to this month's Drinks with Darren, and it hasn't been so long since I was last with you guys, and secretly the only reason for that is because I was super late getting out the last video. So here we are, and we are 1 week from some really big announcements. As some of you may or may not know, I have really been following the mortgage and lending market very closely in the last little while. The reason is because we have been suspecting some major changes to come down from the Bank of Canada and the federal government. So we're gonna get all into what happened last week, what those announcements were, and how they are gonna affect anybody actively participating in the market. But first, let's get into what we're drinking this week. We've got our trusty glass this month that we featured last video, and we have got Saboro. Saboro is made by probably one of my favorite breweries, Parallel 49. We've featured them many times in our videos. This is a new one, and it is the afternoon on a Saturday. It's a 5.9% beer, so it's obviously going to taste really good. This is an IPA, and thank goodness I don't have to go anywhere after this. So let's put this in the glass, let's give it a taste, and we'll get exactly into what you're here for. My past bartending days judging my skills. All right, so that is a very good looking beer. Love the golden kind of pineapple-y almost color of it. Let's see what it tastes like. That is unreal. Speaking of pineapple, it actually kind of tastes a little bit fruity. It doesn't have the same kind of bite that I find a lot of IPAs have. This would definitely be a good one for a hot summer day, which was what I was hoping to do with you guys on a hot summer day, but it's raining this weekend, of course, so that's okay. But definitely a good way to enjoy your weekend and start it off. Saboro IPA by Parallel 49. So as mentioned, we're talking all about the lending market. So last week, regarding the Bank of Canada announcement, as well as the federal budget, which was released last Monday, in terms of both the announcements and the impacts they had on the market, they were both very little. For those looking to purchase in today's current environment, and it may be a little more satiating for those who are considering selling in the near future. It's no secret that the market has been incredibly busy, and so many of us thought our government would act to cool it off. The craziness. Now, lack of this action by the Bank of Canada and the federal government doesn't mean that there isn't more to come. That's really important. This just means that nothing has really come as of yet. Let's dive a little bit deeper into what the announcements were. The Bank of Canada held its third scheduled meeting of 2021 last week with their latest announcement. As expected, the key interest rate was maintained at 0.25%, which means there will be no changes for those who are in a variable rate mortgage, a fixed rate mortgage, or anyone that has a home equity line of credit. The bank reiterated what it calls an extraordinary forward guidance in committing to leaving the overnight rate at 0.25% until the slack in the economy is absorbed and inflation is substantially sustained. Early returns to its 2% target. Say what? What does that mean? The bank is now projecting that will occur in the second half of 2022 rather than in 2023. In the statement accompanying the decision, the bank noted that the economic recovery has been considerably stronger than the forecast and noted that the risk associated with the rapid rise in home prices, a risk the bank will continue to monitor. A dramatic reset of the market expectations for growth and inflation prompted a jump in government bond yields over the second half of February. And as we all know, bond yields affect what happens with the mortgage rates. However, recently, the bond markets have calmed with rates trending sideways for the past several weeks. As a result, Canadian mortgage rates have plateaued around 2.14% on a 5-year fixed rate. The bank also announced a tapering of its quantitative easing program, an earlier date, a potential future rate increase, which likely will put some upward pressure on the mortgage rates in the coming months, along with the proposed 5.25% minimum qualifying rate, which could have a moderating influence on home sales throughout the summer, something a lot of economists are predicting to happen, but hasn't happened yet. As for the federal budget, regrettably, to the ears of many, the federal government really didn't propose anything that will likely have an effect on our local market in terms of returning it to a more healthy state, other than implying that they were interested in releasing a plan to tax foreign owners of vacant homes, which seems like saying we are going to plug this hole in our boat with some chewing gum. There really was not anything overly exciting for any local home buyers or home sellers. By now, I'm guessing you're all absolutely dying to know what is going on with the stats. I'm gonna tell you, and an interesting anecdote about the statistics. I really find that when these are released and I present them to you, they usually feel like they're almost a month behind what the reality actually is. A lot of the stats are going to suggest some product is much busier than others, and some product that, while it's going to appear slow in the statistics I'm going to show you, is probably much busier. Feet on the street, so to speak, being in the marketplace is what really helps us know these things and put them into perspective for those people who are actively in the market right now. With that being said, let's get into the condominiums. In the last 3 months, condominiums are up 6.18%, and in the last year, 6.52%. Interestingly enough, I would say that condominiums, along with townhomes, are likely the busiest types of product in our marketplace right now. Speaking of townhomes, in the last 3 months, we've seen an increase of 8.73% in the Fraser Valley, and in the last year, 13.72%. Actually, I would definitely pick townhomes as the busiest product currently. Now, lastly, we have detached homes. Detached homes are interesting because they seem to be very hit and miss right now in terms of how busy they might actually be. Whether they will be generating multiple offers, something that we've all been so accustomed to over the last few months, almost to be expected or not at all. And really how the marketplace generally will accept them. Take this with a grain of salt, however, as this does not mean that they are slow or they are going down in value. But what it does mean is that the market is adding inventory and getting to a healthier level from the highs we saw weeks ago. Referring back to what I said about the stats being a month behind what is actually happening on the street, these numbers still look great, with the last 3 months looking at just under 15% increase and a 25% increase year over year in detached homes, which is absolutely incredible. It would be very interesting to see what the following month's stats say based on my previous comments and what we are experiencing with our clients who are actually actively in the market. Now, that's it for this month's Drinks with Darren. I want to thank you for watching as always. Please let me know if you have any questions about the market and how to navigate it if you are considering doing something in these times. And also, stay tuned to our social media channels for any updates on what we think are impending changes and important changes to the proposed stress test that will almost certainly occur in the mortgage market. Coming soon. We've left links below to our Facebook page, our Twitter page, and our Instagram. Have a great week, stay safe out there, and I look forward to seeing everyone very soon.